So I'm looking forward to having a conversation with someone who has taken some very intimate videos on YouTube that were designed to instruct young women in how to apply makeup, and has built that presence into a multi-million-dollar business. Her name is Michelle Phan, and she's joining us now. Come on, Michelle.
I like the music.
We definitely chose EDM for you
I love
because
that.
it seems appropriate.
Of course, of course.
So Michelle, I'm looking out at the crowd, and I don't know that everyone in the room is in your demo. So if you don't mind taking just a moment and describing how your start on YouTube back in 2007, what brought you to the site? Go way back in the mist of time.
Go way back in time in my time machine. And 2007, I'm sure you guys know, was a completely different landscape online. MySpace was the #1 social media site. Right? YouTube, I think, was only 2 years old. It was just bought out by Google, and that was the biggest thing within the college community. Everyone was on YouTube.
Right.
And as a college student, you know, us being, you know, the trendsetters underground, it just made so much sense for me to have a platform and find a platform like YouTube and to upload my own videos on there. And originally, this is the first time I ever said this. The first videos I uploaded on my own personal YouTube channel were videos of dogs. And you don't see
everyone else.
You don't see it anymore. But after that, in 2007, you know, I was turned down a job at a beauty counter because I didn't have the sales experience to sell beauty products. I was a waitress. But my passion for beauty was on par with just any beauty and makeup enthusiast. And instead of feeling down about it and being upset, I opened another door, and that door happened to be a laptop, and I filmed my first ever makeup tutorial. I uploaded it on YouTube, not expecting anyone to watch it. And again, remember, I just wanted to share how I did my own makeup. And within the first week, it gained over 40,000 views. And I had comments from people all over the world asking, Michelle, I want to learn more than just makeup. I want to learn how to get rid of acne. I want to learn about how to draw, and that was really the introduction to this career that I'm still in.
But this wasn't your background, right? Your parents had visions for you to pursue a medical career, right?
So. Of course, because, I mean, if you were to tell someone 10 years ago that you can make a lot of money and you can have a substantial career just by uploading a video of yourself either telling jokes or doing makeup instructions, singing, the whole 9 yards, people would think you're crazy. Because back then, media was really more on TV, but we're living in a digital age where media can be viewed anywhere, even from your mobile phone and beyond. I mean, it's just incredible now.
Now, how is it that Lady Gaga changed your life?
Well, first off, her music is incredible.
Right, okay.
I love her, and it was the first time I think anyone has ever created, someone like myself has ever created a full transformation look. And I showed people how they can transform their face, not just through beauty, but through these videos. And that really changed the game. And so she really helped me put me on the map.
Now, how did you come to the attention of some of the cosmetic companies? I mean, we should tell the folks in the room that currently she has over 7 million subscribers on YouTube. And that is not the totality of her online presence. We'll get there in a minute. But so how did you come to the attention of some of these companies that are trying to reach young women? What was it that was the breakthrough?
The breakthrough was Lancome. And there was this woman, her name is Carrie Diamond, so she's no longer the PR at Lancome, but at the time, she was really curious because Lancome partnered, they had a YouTube channel back in 2009, and it was still very new at its time, and they spent a lot of money making these beautiful makeup tutorials. They had the best makeup artists, top models, and they were gorgeous. Spent so much money on it, only got 500 views. And they were just scratching their head, asking themselves, okay, we made these beautiful videos. How come no one's watching it? And they're watching all these other videos that are made in bedrooms. So she was very curious, and that's why, you know, she is working now at Yahoo as editor-in-chief of Yahoo Foods. I mean, she was already like way ahead of her game, and she did her research. She typed in Lancome makeup tutorial. The first one that popped up was my video, and I only happened to use one Lancome product. I tagged it on there, and that's why it came up. had 500,000 views. And it was a video where I showed people how they can apply makeup on the plane, and I happened to be on a plane at the same time. So it was a very funny video because it's like turbulences and everything. And she fell in love with the idea, and she contacted me. We talked for hours, and originally she wanted to bring me on as a consultant, but the more she spoke to me, the more she understood that online is different. You want something that's more authentic. It's not about bringing on a spokesperson and a model and jazzing it up and putting all this production money behind it. Yes, I mean, you could do that, but what people need to understand about what makes YouTube so different is that you go on there because you want to connect with someone. You go on there because you want to have a two-way dialogue with the person that you're watching and with the community. And she understood that, and so I officially became the online Lancome spokesperson in 2010.
Now, that's it's the beginning of a really interesting collaboration between you and this giant corporation.
Yes, it was.
So tell me how you took your philosophy about sort of this intimate platform that is YouTube and this sort of approachable way that you have in offering instruction, you know, this sort of, and how you developed and taken your followers and brought them on a different journey as you've developed other businesses. Tell me what's next.
It was definitely a learning curve for the brands, because a lot of these brands, they were used to working with agencies, where the agencies, they come up with the ideas, they pitch it to them, they agree on it, and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars making these beautiful videos, and that's it, which is great. I mean, but it's different now, because when we were doing this in 2010, I was the agency. I was the production company. I shot my own videos, I lit myself, I edited myself, I was my own producer, director, call myself a predator, producer, editor, and director. So predators, I was an official predator for Lancome, and I made all these videos for them, and they were all my ideas. They didn't dictate what I was supposed to make, because they understood it had to be authentic, it had to come from me. But there was a learning curve. I mean, I had this marriage with Lancome, and like any marriage, you know, you're just gonna get into some fights, and at one point they were really upset that I was using a product that looked really messy. It looked like I used it. And so they wanted me to edit that out, and I said, why? Because if I use a product that's brand new, it looks like I've never used it before. I love this product, and it shows that I abused the heck out of it, so that's gonna sell it even more. And Carrie Diamond said, just do it, just upload it, go ahead. And that primer sold like crazy.
Yeah. So tell me about the evolution of your personal brand and your vision for how you're taking a following on YouTube and bringing them on a different journey. Tell me about the genesis of Ipsy, your new business.
Yes, so the genesis of Ipsy happened in 2012, and my original idea and how Ipsy came about, it happened in 2008. I was in Thailand, and I was with my friends, and we went to this mall, and we saw this kiosk, this small little kiosk outside the mall, and around 30 girls were just going crazy, throwing money in the air, like Thai baht. They were just buying all these products, and I was looking at it, and I said, what are they buying? And I saw what they were buying. They were buying beauty samples, not full-size products, beauty samples. La Mer, Chanel, Lancome, the expensive ones. And I asked my friend, why are they going crazy over beauty samples? And she said, well, it's because in Asia, if you were to go into a drugstore or a department store, you go in there, you buy a product, and you walk out the store, and you come back 2 seconds later to return it, they won't take it, even if it's unopened. It's final sale. And so people there, they do their research, and they buy samples because they want to see if the product works before they invest their money in it, which I think is very smart. That's how most people should shop. And I thought, wow, that's a great idea. Maybe one day I can do a business where I can sell beauty samples. And so I tucked that in the back of my head. And years later, I met with the current CEO of Ipsy, Marcelo. He ran Funny or Die, and he wanted to do something new. And so he met with me, and he said, Michelle, what do you want to do in the beauty industry? What company would you like to create? And so I told him my story in Thailand, and he said, okay, so you want to do a sampling program with beauty. And I said, not just a sampling program, because any girl can go up to a beauty department or a beauty store, even guys, and ask for a sample, and you get it for free. What I want to give are substantial products that are curated by myself, and that's personalized for the person who's buying it. And thus, Ipsy was born. And so for $10 a month, it's like a cup of coffee, a movie ticket. You get these beautiful monthly themed bags that you can reuse for like anything else. And inside these bags are 4 to 5 full-sized, deluxe-sized beauty products. We don't believe in giving cheap samples. We don't believe in that, because if you can get that for free, we're not going to make you buy that, because I think that's like robbing someone of their money. I'm not for that. And the cool thing about these bags, not only do you get these products that are curated and personalized to you, so before you even sign up for these bags, you take this long quiz that's asking for your eye color, your skin tone, your hair color, if you like lipsticks, what color lipsticks do you like, what eyeliner do you like, if you prefer more hair products, and it's personalized. And so when the next glam bag you get, it's made for you. And so we have this algorithm that calculates all your assets and products that you like and products you don't like, and we learn from this algorithm what you prefer, and we send out beauty products that are perfect and are made for you. And it's just like the day I announced it, it sold out within a day. The bag sold out. Right. And so now I think right now we're sending out 700,000 bags every month.
Okay, so let's do the math. What are we talking about in terms of annual revenue here?
Well, I don't care about the money. I just care about, I just want to make sure my customers are happy, but it's a lot.
Right.
We're no longer a startup, obviously, because we're sending out 700,000 bags, $10 each, so you guys can do the math.
84 million, just in case.
And the wait list is long.
Right.
People wait months to get a glam bag. So when you sign up for a glam bag, you're not getting it right away. You wait sometimes weeks, sometimes even months to just get the glam bags. And after you get the glam bags and you receive them, every month, not only do you get products, but you get content with it. And that was the biggest driver for Ipsy, was that you're not just getting products, you're getting substantial content, videos made from myself and from my other beauty stylists who are using all the products and showing and demoing how to use every single product. Not only are the users happy, but the brands are ecstatic, because these videos are getting hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions of views, and we're getting tastemakers and curators who are using the products, and we're becoming almost spokesperson for these brands.
Now, what's the connection between the launch of Ipsy and the introduction of your own cosmetics line? Is there a direct correlation between the two?
It's very, very different. So the makeup line that I launched with L'Oreal, and this is a luxury brand. So a lot of people think this is L'Oreal Mass. This is L'Oreal Luxe that I launched it with last year. It was completely different market and everything, and it was developed and co-created by my followers. And so I got them to name the lipstick shades, and they really inspired me to create the products, because we traveled around the world and we did focus groups in different parts of the world, got all the girls to bring their beauty bags, dumped it on the table, and we had like this girl chat where we asked them, okay, what beauty products would you like to see in the future? What would you like to see Michelle have? Sorry, I'm talking in third person. And what would you like to see that doesn't exist right now? And they helped me create the brand. And so that's why when I tell people my makeup brand was not made by myself, it was co-created by my followers. They feel incentivized and they feel like their opinions are valued, because whatever they say dictates what comes out on the market. Ipsy is a little different because my lipstick is $15. Some girls might not be able to afford a $15 lipstick, but $10, you get 4 to 5 deluxe size products. And that's something that they can afford, because this day and age, there's not a lot of people with disposable income. And so for $10 a month, you can still feel like you're valued, and you can still get something that empowers you to try something new.
Well, let me talk to you a bit about the sort of the business imperative for doing this. I mean, since you started cultivating a following on YouTube, there are many people who are on YouTube who complain that they're still not able to make enough of a living
Right.
through the ad revenue. So talk to me about the economics of YouTube and how you've tried to take the following you've built there and build it into something
Right.
more lucrative.
Well, I mean, it's like any medium. It's like television or magazines. You have the subscription, but that's not going to make all the money. You need to bring on sponsors, partners, and you also have to sell product to make money, especially if you want to grow your brand. I tell a lot of my friends who want to go on YouTube, you don't have to have millions of subscribers to be considered successful. So many of my friends, they have around 200,000 subscribers, but they make around, I would say, sponsorships and also just viewership alone, they make around 5 to 6K a month, which is very nice. I think that's a really good living. And you're doing what you love, which is even better. So instead of rolling out of bed and jumping in a car and you're stuck in traffic for 2 hours, I mean, you just roll out of bed and your laptop is right there and you can just go to work. So it's a different atmosphere now. I mean, the internet has changed the way people work, which I think is really exciting because now this gives us the opportunity as entrepreneurs to create more jobs for people. And I think that's what I want to kind of represent. This idea with Ipsy, it happened 3 years ago and it was only 4 people. We started out with 4 people, so it was a startup. Now we have over 100 people employed and they love doing what they do. They wake up every day excited to go to work and it doesn't even feel like work for them. And so today we're celebrating 3 years of Ipsy, which I'm really excited about.
That's excellent.
Thank you.
Now, you've talked about how the internet has changed how we work, but the internet and how people are accessing your content is changing as well. I know as recently as last year, half of your traffic was coming from a desktop and half from mobile. How has that changed in the current year, and how are you adapting?
Well, to piggyback off of that, just to give you guys some stats. So last year alone, 70% of our traffic that went on Ipsy.com came from desktop users. 60%. Today, 70% of traffic comes from mobile.
Wow.
And so we have people signing up on Ipsy.com, signing up for glam bags through mobile. And so now we know that mobile is the future. People are shopping mobily. They want to watch content mobily, so we have to make sure that everything that we create it's intuitive and responsive to mobile. And so our website that we're launching Ipsy 3.0, it's not an app, because we're developing that next year, and that takes a little time, I'm sure you guys know. It's a website, but it's responsive to mobile. And so if you were to go on the Ipsy website 3.0 mobily, it acts and feels like an app. But if you go on a desktop, it feels like a website, but it also feels like an app too. And so I think people now are understanding that everything is going mobily, and so they should start designing for mobile and start thinking intuitively, if that makes any sense, making all the buttons and making everything responsive mobily and on desktop too.
Okay. I wanted to take a moment to talk with you about something that's been in the news of late. You've been the focus of some of the coverage in the entertainment industry. Your site early on struck a partnership with a very prominent electronic dance label, and you found yourself at the wrong end of a lawsuit just recently.
Yes.
So give us a bit of the history. Tell me about how you cultivated a relationship.
Well, back in 2008, when I didn't have a makeup line or a book, I wasn't considered career-wise successful. I was just someone who loved doing what she did. I contacted someone from Ultra Records asking if I could use their music in my videos to cross-promote their artists, because my videos averaged around 1 million views per video. And so I knew the value that my videos were bringing to the music label and to the artist. And I was also a huge fan of the artist, and I'm always a supporter. And the representative from Ultra loved my videos. They loved what I was doing. And they said, look, whatever songs you want to use, we'll clear it for you. We'll even send you some more songs to use. And it has been that relationship ever since.
Until this year?
Well, until I started making money, and I had a makeup line and a book, and they thought that it was their music that made me successful. When in reality, they have to understand that if you watch my videos, yes, I do use their music, I do promote the artist, I add the iTunes link, and on top of that, I have voiceover over it. So it's not like a music video where you only hear the music. You hear my voiceover and instructions, and if anything, at best, the music is around 10% audio in the background. Mm-hmm. So it's very low. It's not a music video.
Right.
And well, when people want money, they
right. So just to be clear, you had they were sending you the tracks.
Yeah.
They
even cleared my music, and so whenever my videos were claimed, the representative from Ultra would go on and unclaim it to make sure I was making money. So they knew what was going on.
Right. So where does the lawsuit stand now? Obviously, you're not going to get into the intricacies of it.
Well, I'll tell you where I stand. I don't like bullies. I don't like, especially someone who, I believe in keeping your word. If you give someone permission, you should keep your word. And if you have problems with it, you should talk and discuss and figure out a solution rather than fighting. I've never been a big believer in fighting, and that's why I'm a big believer in building something positive and taking something negative and doing something positive out of it, which is why I launched a music label with Cutting Edge Music. And if you guys don't know Cutting Edge Music, they just did the soundtrack for Fury, Oscar-winning King's Speech, Drive soundtrack. And so what we're doing now is we want to give the power back to the artist because we understand and we value the artist, and we know that without the artist, there's no music. You can have a label, an amazing label, but if you don't have an artist, what are you going to sell? And so I partnered with Philip Moraz, the CEO of Cutting Edge Music, and we just made this partnership last month. So we're very excited about that, and we're already having like big plans ahead. However, to touch base back on this, you know, I was just really appalled and I was really hurt because, you know, I came at it from a point of view where I just wanted to help these people and to see that, you know, someone is coming in and they see that I have financial success and they want a piece of that. It's just really sad, you know, because we're living in an age where we should be collaborating rather than fighting over who owns what, because it's the internet now. It's hard to say who owns what, because if it's music, music should be free. Music should be free for everyone to hear. I understand that some people do need to make money, yes, and there's ways that you can monetize and make money, and someone doesn't really have to pay to buy that song, but I think we're living in a different age now, and collectively we should all come together to find a solution rather than fighting. So I can't really say what's happening right now because, you know, we're going through the details, but I can tell you right here that I believe in Team Internet, and I'm here to protect my fellow YouTubers and also anyone online who does slip up and they use copyrighted music. I want to be able to protect them and to show that I have your back and I'm here to fight and stand my ground.
All right, well, I wanted to give the audience a few moments to ask questions of their own. If you'd like to step up to the microphones at the end of either aisle.
Don't be shy.
All right, I do have more questions if you guys are still mulling yours. I wanted to talk with you about another venture. I wish we had more time to talk about music, but I know that you were in the process of creating your own multi-channel network. They've been much in the news these days, full screen, a bunch of these networks have been acquired recently. Tell me about your initiative and what is coming in the near future.
So for the longest time, I didn't really partner with any MCNs just because I was fine independent and I just didn't, I'm very careful. If I partner with someone, I have to make sure they're really, really good partners. And Endemol came into the picture. I spoke to them and we just hit it off and we had the same vision. And so now I'm launching a premium lifestyle network with Endemol Beyond. And the cool thing about Endemol is that they're the largest production company in the world globally,
right.
And they
Tell
have
who they're associated with. This is not a Hollywood crowd. So who is Endemol associated with?
Well, Endemol. I know you guys have heard on the news. You know, they're now partnered with Fox, and they have merged with Shine, and so we have really big plans, not just stateside but globally. And that's actually why I partnered with Endemol, because I believe that just because internet is very popular in the States and YouTubers are popular in the States doesn't mean it's not going to become popular in Australia. It's already popular in Australia, in the UK, and very soon probably Russia, China. And they have a production company in every single city in the world. And I knew how important it was to have this global reach, and that's why I partnered with them. And what we're focusing on, instead of aggregating hundreds and thousands of channels, we want to find the best tastemakers and talent in each category and build power brands behind them, like myself. So imagine a Michelle Phan who cooks, or a Michelle Phan who's a video game player. Really finding that quality brand that has a longer shelf life, because you can make a viral video. It's very easy to make a viral video and to shock people, but to have longevity and consistency, that's hard. And that's something that doesn't come often. And I know how to maintain that because I've been doing this for 7 years. And now what I want to do is I want to bring on these talent, mentor them and nurture them and give them the right advice to grow their brand. And I'm not here to take advantage of them or anything.
How does that impact or color your relationship with YouTube and how you relate with YouTube? If you're going out to create your own channel and cultivate your own talent, what does that mean for you and for the videos that you contribute regularly still to your own channel?
Oh, I'm still maintaining my own channel. I still edit my own videos. I was editing it on the plane this morning, flying from LAX. I love it because it's a passion. It's something I love doing, and you have to have that. You can't just give everything off and have everyone do everything for you, or else it's not going to be authentic. And I stress that a lot to a lot of people that we're bringing on who have never edited a video. And I tell them, well, if you've never edited a video, this is going to be tough. I'm going to have to teach you how to do it because you need to learn how to do everything yourself. Because that is what makes you different than talent. Talent, you go on and you're talent. But if you want to be like a real business person, an entrepreneur, you got to learn how to do everything. Because when you're launching your own business, you're your own lawyer, your own PR person. I'm sure you guys have been through all of it. It's not easy. But it's so rewarding knowing that you were able to do all of that. And that's why I want to empower these people who are coming on board. I want to teach them everything. I even wrote a book. I just launched it last week. and I show people how I was able to do it. I show people how I was able to start my channel, what to invest in, what content to focus on. And I want more people to do this because it's such a fun adventure. It's so fun to wake up every morning doing what you love. And contributing to society and also giving jobs to people too. That's the best part about being an entrepreneur is that it's not about making the money, it's about making the money that can help other people make money.
What was the best insight that you share? You need to provide the title of your book, but what was the best insight you think that's not perhaps as obvious to people who are looking from the outside and simply see your success? What is the best piece of advice that you're sharing with those who purchase your book?
I would say the best piece of advice that I've learned so far in my short career span is you have to have a reason why you're doing something. If you're starting a startup, if you're developing an app, if you are launching a YouTube channel, you have to ask, why are you doing this? Because if you don't have a reason why, that's like building a house on top of sand. It's just going to sink. You have to have a strong foundation because that's the motivation that's going to keep fueling you every morning to wake up and to go in and attack. Because if you don't have that foundation, within a year or two, you're going to burn out and just that feeling alone. I know what it feels like burning out. It hurts. And you feel like you failed. But also, another thing that I want to emphasize on is sometimes failure is not a bad thing. We often think that failing is it's a negative connotation. It has such a negative connotation, but failing, I see failing, it's a tool to success. Because the more you fail, the more you know you're not supposed to go in that direction, and it's leading you towards the right direction. If you fail at one thing, maybe you weren't meant to do that, and maybe you were meant to do something else. So I believe everyone in this world has a talent. They have a purpose, and sometimes, in our society, we measure success by how many cars we have in our parking garage, how many zeros we have in our bank account, whether it's zero or a lot. But I measure my success on how happy I am. I'm happy. I was able to retire my mother, which, she was an immigrant after the Vietnam War, and she struggled her entire life, giving my family and I a substantial living. And I was able to retire her a few years ago. She's in San Francisco right now, so I'm going to see her later. That's success to me. And so I also think you have to ask yourself, how do you measure success? Why are you starting it? How do you measure your success? And what was the last one? And just be happy.
All right.
If you're not happy, you know what? It's not worth your stress.
Yeah.
It's not worth your stress. And sometimes in life, like you have another option. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing or what you're being told. You can just go move somewhere else in another country, learn a new language. That's what Mark Zuckerberg did. He spoke Chinese. He can now work in China. And we have the internet. We have the power of the internet. You can learn so much more, and you can learn a new language and just start a company somewhere else.
All right, Michelle, thank you so much for your time. It's been great chatting with you. Thank you.